Okay, let's hope this works out good. All right, so like I put in the title, today we just had the elections yesterday, and of course, as expected, Fisher won by a long shot. It wasn't even close. He got like 61%. I think there's only maybe 2% that was unaccounted for. So I'd be lucky if I got 1% of that. I haven't looked into the exact details, but I would be interested to see like exactly the number of people that voted for me. But anyway, regardless, it doesn't matter because I know for sure that I will win in 2022 because I'm gonna start working on it now, and I'm gonna have all the work that I've done before. And as long as I keep the work ethic that I have now, keep that going, then it's surefire. Just keep being involved in the community, doing as much as I can, trying to support more black businesses, helping out with the mentoring, doing more charity stuff on a more consistent basis, so I'm more involved in the community, and just basically trying to get my name out there, continuing to address myself that this is what I aspire to do, as opposed to just being a footnote now. Something that I can really be passionate about and going forward, put myself behind, and basically, yeah, just trying to become more accomplished and trying to, in essence, build up a resume before the next election comes around. And this time, I also have the added benefit of being on the what is it? Being on the ballot, and then also I should be able to also get more involved in a lot of debates. Which, again, if I was able to get to that percentage point, to where I could have that percentage to where I could have gotten on those platforms and had a bigger audience and things of that nature. I know for sure I can show out in front of definitely Angela Yeet and also Mayor Fisher as well, because like I said, he's been there for 12 years now, and or 8 years I think it is. Yeah, 8 years. And yeah, I I haven't seen a whole lot, and also I haven't seen him much in the same circles and around the same people that I am, which I think says a lot. But what else is there? So yeah, basically just doing that, continuing to not only educate myself, but as well as educate anybody that come across the community at large, so that we can start building that, get that, keep basically we're still at the point of changing mindset. So changing the mindset, and then working towards building the infrastructure. So sustainable food sources, getting black-owned grocery stores, corner stores, hair salons, just really facilitating that and encouraging more people to start a business rather than get a job. Have the job as a backup plan, because it's pretty easy to get jobs and there's plenty of jobs out there. The focus should be on you know starting a business and being able to grow in that and help out the community and keep the dollars within the community more, and then keep on reinvesting, so that when we have kids going to school to learn trades or to just go to school period, that those skills are coming back to the community and not leaving the community the same way as the dollars typically do. So doing that, and then again with schooling, so getting more kids to go to Simmons College at least for a couple of years, so that we can funnel more money into that institution and get it to build back up to where it can be comparable to a U of L, who has only been able to benefit from its monopoly of schools. The fact of that it destroyed what was at the, it was I think it was the Louisville College or University or whatever, but it was basically the HBCU of its time, and U of L took advantage of integration and destroyed that, and, and basically absorbed it, but only taking parts that they wanted. So most of the teachers were gone, and the difficulty that the students had, of course, trying to integrate in the school. it's not something that I want to continue to support or that I would encourage others to be a part of as well. And so just doing that and just doing what I can to change the culture and change the ideology so that we can get more people to want to get in those positions, be teachers, but then also creating our own schools, own businesses, and just keeping everything within the Black community, because that's what really needs to happen if people are really serious about all of this, these shootings and the racism and stuff like that. Build your own. Build your own. As simple as that. You don't have to deal with that racist stuff if you're within a Black-owned business and most of the people that you work with are Black. You don't have to deal with having to explain yourself and trying to get other people to understand your situation. You're going to have enough people that going through the same thing, or more people who are at least empathetic to what you're going through and have some sense of understanding, so you don't have to deal with that sort of hatred and that hostility. And as well, growing wealth, getting houses, not having to pay rent, constantly becoming property owners and things of that nature. For example, which is a big problem with the jury selection that I'm doing right now. Way too many white people. It's hard to find somebody in there that isn't white. And that's because they go off of voter registration, driver's license rolls, and then people who pay property taxes. All three of which are things that are very low in the Black community, because if you don't have a car, then you may see having your driver's license as a less viable or less of a necessity, but it really has a very impactful and sense of, ways of thinking, and as well as, of course, allowing you to be a better chance of you being selected for a jury. And also just having that skill is very important. If you're traveling and things of that nature, being able to drive a car, or jobs as well. That's a whole bunch of jobs that allows you access to if you have a driver's license as well. So just doing that, just changing the thinking and realizing that, you can basically, once you have a somewhat of an understanding, you can really blot out a lot of the stuff that you see in the news, because it's not one-off events. These are systemic issues. And so once you understand that, you can kind of blow it off a little bit more and not necessarily have to, pay attention to every single update and every single thing, because you'll be too focused on creating your own and no longer having to be a part of that. And that's really what I'm all about, is just Black empowerment. And I'm really just done trying to fight the system. I can show you better than I can tell you, basically. And I feel like we're at the point now where white people ain't going to understand until Black people can show that they can stand on their own 2 feet, and they don't need to deal with all this stuff with sports and entertainment and police brutality and the education system, because we got our own and we don't need that. Simply put, don't have to deal with that. And once Black people start leaving schools and all of a sudden start becoming more business owners, you're going to see less people incarcerated, less homicides. People aren't even going to see that as all this street stuff. They're not even going to see that as a viable option. However, there is a lot of that mentality and that, that heart, that drive, that is important, that we do need to keep. It's just the way that we implement that dedication and that drive, that's what needs to change. Because right now, with getting just getting education to get a job, or to try to move out to the suburbs, and all this stuff of having to think that, you can't, your only viable option to support yourself is slinging dope or doing who knows what else. Once we get that to see that you can do the same thing but in the legal market, that's the real power. Once you get the people that got that street sense and that toughness and that heart, once you get them to starting their own businesses and, educating their kids and things of that, just switching that paradigm, you're going to see some major stuff start to happen. That's when the big shift is going to start, and you're going to see a lot more hostility from these so-called, allies, because they're not used to a strong black community, one that stands on its own and one that can, basically defend itself, and it doesn't become one of these little wimpy babies of the Democratic Party of thinking if you don't vote Democrat, your life's going to hell and nobody's going to protect you except for us. Because that's not true at all. Not true at all. And that's why, like I said, my goal is over the next 4 years is to continue to make those connections, continue volunteering, continue to educate myself in the community and become more involved, and as well as just my own personal education with reading. Like, I'm smarter than I was yesterday, and I'm definitely smarter than I was last week or next month. And, just keep on building that every single day. And I see results, and I know I'm continuing to see them. So that's just all I gotta have, because I gotta go do some other stuff. I just wanted to try to do this as quickly as possible. 11 minutes ain't too bad, but oh well. Anyway, please comment, share, subscribe, like, all that good stuff. Let the people know, so that we can continue this conversation and keep it going outside of just me shooting videos like this. And we can continue to make a difference and just building every day, whether it's ourselves or a community. It don't matter. Growth is growth, and we all benefit from that.